Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about railroads because there's kind of a lot of good information to know as a forager around railroad tracks specifically. Number one that I really want to impress upon you is that they dump a lot of chemicals here. And the reason for that is that if you look over there, there's a lot of blackberries, as you may see. And those would be growing here if it weren't for the chemicals that they dumped in this area. And by chemicals, I mean herbicides that are specifically meant to control the weeds. So there is still stuff that will grow here that's very tempting to us as foragers that I also want to show you, like this mullein here. Mullein just loves the railroad tracks. And you can see behind me, a little seed head mullein. They are very fuzzy inside, the seed heads. They've got a pith. It actually can be really flammable. People actually make candles by dipping this entire seed stalk in wax and then lighting the end on fire. And the seeds actually fall out of the seed headstock. This one might be out of seeds by now. So you can actually, if you want to reseed mullein somewhere else, you can actually harvest these stalks and kind of just magic wand them wherever it is. But I think that this site is a really good indication of the type of environment that mullein really likes to grow in, which is to say, it doesn't get a lot of water. They actually put these rocks where the railroad is. So mullein actually is growing and making its own soil in these rocks, which is pretty wild to me. And so mullein doesn't need a lot of water. It's a pretty dry loving plant, and it kind of thrives where other plants don't thrive. And so we do need to be careful about where we harvest it. So yes, this is mullein. Yes, it's cool. We don't harvest it in the train tracks though. And that's true of a lot of things. Another plant that I've seen growing next to the train tracks a lot is blue elderberry on the east side of the Cascades. It loves the train tracks because it's open. There's no other competition. It gets lots of sun and they get really big. So if you do harvest near train tracks, just give them a good wide berth. I would say at least 30 feet away from the train tracks. The other thing I wanted to show you guys, let's go over here, is another opportunist plant. And this plant you may not recognize because it's smaller than normally when you find it, but this is actually black cottonwood. And black cottonwood is that thing that releases all of the fuzz kind of around May. Those are the seeds, right? So those seeds just absolutely pervade everywhere. So these will pop up anywhere, right? They're really happy growers. They grow really fast. It's one of the reasons why they use cottonwood and plants of this genus to make paper, because the wood's really soft, it gets into a pulp really easily, and it grows really fast. So you'll see big plantations of this for paper growing. We don't harvest the buds, which is, as a medicinal herb forager, is what would be looking for from plants that are this small. But what I wanted to show you also is that the smaller members, like the more baby black poplars, actually have really elongated leaves, and they end up resembling willow more, because willow kind of has the more elongated leaves with the serrations. When the trees get bigger, they're going to get wider and more heart-shaped. And so this is a really easy one. People see these seedlings come up and they're like, what is this? I don't know what that is. Well, it's black cottonwood. And one of the ways that you can test it is these do still have buds, and you can squish them and see if there's orange resin in there and if it's sticky. And indeed, there is. There's not much, but you can see that there is orange resin inside of the buds. So a couple little tricks about the train tracks. Obviously, never step on active train tracks. Sometimes you'll find that in foraging. So always keep an eye and an ear out when you're near train tracks in general, and be safe. Thanks, guys.